The latest on Trey Hendrickson, Tyler Boyd, Joseph Osai, essentially all of the Bengals injury updates you need, plus some more thoughts on the Bengals who, yes, it was not a dream, beat the Browns to win 5 straight. Let's get into it here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Hi again, everyone, and welcome in to CBT. I'm James Rapien of allbengals.com. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and let's get right into it because the Bengals, well, they're dealing with a ton of injuries following Sunday's 23-10 victory. And needless to say, and I can say it now, at least Jesse turned to me before we did our stand-up post-game and said, yeah, I was told that Trey Hendrickson was leaving the x-ray room. And so I'm like, oh, I wonder what happened, what that was. And soon enough, shortly after that, there was reports that he suffered a broken wrist. Now, Zac Taylor confirmed that Trey Hendrickson is dealing with a wrist issue and has not ruled him out for this week. And that doesn't shock me. Why would you do that? Make the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at least think that there's a chance that Hendrickson plays. But he's dealing with a broken wrist, according to multiple reports. No reason to believe that those reports are wrong. One, he's expected to miss multiple games, according to those reports. But the real positive of what Zac Taylor had to say about Trey Hendrickson is the fact that he will not be put on injured reserve, which would have ended the regular season for him, and it would have made sure that he could not play over the next 4 weeks. So that means that at least there's some hope, minimum, that Trey Hendrickson returns at some point during the regular season. And we know how important these games are. The Bengals 9-4, battling not only for the AFC North, but the number 1 seed in the AFC. That suddenly is a conversation we are having and realistically having. Obviously, they'll probably have to win out to get that done. But after beating the Chiefs, after winning 5 straight, it certainly feels like they're capable of doing it and going on the road and beating Tampa, then handling the Patriots, then a showdown could be insane. Maybe the game of the year, Bills, Bengals on Monday Night Football, followed by a showdown against the Ravens to end the season on January 9th at Paycor Stadium. The point is, the Bengals are hoping to have Hendrickson for some of those games. Otherwise, they would place him on injured reserve, bring another pass rusher in here. Let's get to Tyler Boyd, then we'll get to let's stick with Joseph Osai, then I'll get to Tyler Boyd, just with the defensive line. Joseph Osai suffered a shoulder injury, seems day-to-day. We'll see on him. Didn't get much of an update on him. He did play through it, but suffered a shoulder injury nonetheless. So we'll keep you up to date on him. Tyler Boyd, I think it's a little more complicated. And I believe it was Tom Pelissero reporting that he's going to miss a week, maybe a couple with the finger injury. And I've had so many people on Facebook, Instagram, I haven't seen any on YouTube, but I haven't had time to read a bunch of comments, say, oh, well, he suffered a dislocated finger. Pop it back in, tape it up, and let him play. One, we have no idea what's going on with that finger. Just because it was dislocated doesn't mean it's not broken in spots. Doesn't mean he doesn't need, some other kind of treatment or anything like that. Here's what we do know is that he's dealing with a very painful injury, Zac Taylor said. They had to flush it out in the locker room to make sure it didn't get infected. And so we'll see. I think the Boyd one, especially because you use your hands to catch. This isn't like he doesn't need his hands. Of course he does. And so we'll see how he fares, how he heals. I think that's very much a to-be-determined type of situation. Could miss a week, could be back after just one game. We'll see. Tough to say at this point. T. Higgins still dealing with that hamstring, of course, that sidelined him. I think they're hoping it gets healthier and healthier, and maybe he could go this week, still up in the air there. Hayden Hurst sounded a little less optimistic about Hurst, but maybe I'm just reading into the tea leaves a bit much. Zac Taylor called him week to week, so we'll see, but it doesn't sound like Hurst is going to be able to suit up this week. I think that's most of the injuries. Let's get to some of these takeaways, because upon further review, and I went back and watched, the thing that really impressed me most about this Bengals team was their ability to pivot on the fly. And that starts with Zac Taylor, who deserves a ton of credit. And on Locked On Bengals, I gave him the Schultz and Sons game ball because a lot of offensive minds, and I watch a lot of bad coaching. If you watch around the NFL, man, I think there's a lot of bad coaches out there. I think there's a lot of doofuses that make dumb decisions and crumble at certain times. And Zac Taylor did not. And in fact, what he did is he said, okay, so we're down to our best weapon in Burrow. Well, that's enough to get past this Browns team, assuming our offensive line can hold up. So what we're going to do is move Jamar Chase around more. We're going to move him around. He's going to get matched up against Denzel Ward and man. He's going to deal with zone. And since we're moving him around, the Browns might not be able to allocate enough resources to him. And boom, just like that, he has 10 of Joe Burrow's 18 completions are receptions by Jamar Chase. 119 of his 239 passing yards, Burrow's 239 passing yards, were to Jamar Chase. He was dominant. And Zac Taylor gets some credit for that. Obviously, we know Jamar Chase is great. And we know Joe Burrow is great. I could come on and say that. But the fact that Zac Taylor, one, dialed that up, two, knowing when to take the shot. I turned to Mike Petraglia of CLNS Media. I've been on his podcast a bunch, Jungle Roar, and he does a great job covering the Bengals for CLNS. I turned to him and I was like, this is a good time for a shot play. And he said, I think they can run the ball. And guess what the Browns thought? That they were running the ball on that flea flicker. And Zac Taylor calls it, boom, flea flicker, works perfect. Trent Taylor had so much separation, the most separation he's ever had, he said after the game. I think he told Dave Lapham that. Point is that Zac Taylor, offense is on him, right? When it's bad, we blame him. We blame his play calling. We blame that. You get 23 points against, I know it's not a world beater defense, but it's a bad matchup type defense for you. And you find a way to get the ground game going in the second half and secure the win. He deserves a lot of credit. Now, no doubt this defense does as well. They played at a high level without Trey Hendrickson. Well, it's going to be a lot of Cam Sample and maybe Joseph Osai and a lot of these young guys that are going to have to step up. Jeff Gunter. We'll see. BJ Hill seemed confident in those guys. We posted his press conference, which really wasn't a press, Zoom call with the media on Monday. That's right here on CBT, along with Alex Kappa as well. But this Bengals team's playing well. They're confident, and they're going to be tested now. And what I think is going to be at least a game without Trey Hendrickson. It might be two, especially on a short week. So you play Sunday at 4:25 against the Buccaneers. Then you play again on Saturday against the Patriots. Then you get a long break, Saturday to Monday night, December 24th to January 2nd. So naturally, if I had to guess, purely a guess, I would say that the Bengals are circling that Monday Night Football game. Obviously, we know the significance of it. Bills, Bengals, but also Trey Hendrickson, potential return there. Hopefully Tyler Boyd and Hendrickson and all these guys can be back sooner and play at a high level. Regardless, you're into the Bengals. You're watching this channel for a reason, which means you might as well wager on them. You might as well get in on all the action with MyBookie. Sports betting is intense, and you shouldn't need to sweat your payouts. In a lot of places, you have to sweat the payouts. Well, right now, MyBookie has a no-strings bonus that lets you cash in and cash out quick, just like that. Use promo code BengalsTalk on a deposit of $50 or more, and you can receive up to $200 in cash instantly to your MyBookie account. You can use this bonus, bet your deposited amount once, and boom, you can cash out. It's that simple. No strings attached with MyBookie. All you have to do is go to MyBookie, hammer the bonus so you can focus on what's important. Family, food, and securing the money bag. Yeah, that's what's important during the holiday season. So go to MyBookie right now. Use promo code BengalsTalk. Get that no strings attached bonus. Make some money and cash out today. This Bengals team is hitting its stride, and they've overcome a lot of adversity, and it just doesn't stop. Welcome to the NFL season. It's just one after another, one after another, one after another. And their mindset is that. I think they look at it in pockets of games, but I mean, coming out of the bye, you have to find a way to go undefeated in November for the right to play the Chiefs, and then you have a Browns team that you've struggled with, and now you get Brady, who just got his face kicked in by the San Francisco 49ers. It's going to be a lot of fun to see if this Bengals team can take down the GOAT. On a team in Tampa that has been bad. They may end up being good, and I'm certainly not burying Tom Brady. I'm the last one. There's a picture of Tom Brady right over there. I'm a big Brady fan. Still, I'm not going to lie from it. I'm not going to run from it. I'm not going to hide from it. Brady's done it for longer than some of our viewers have been alive. And I've watched him since his Michigan days for more than 20 plus years. I'm aging myself, but I remember watching him when he was the comeback kid at Michigan. It's going to be hard to beat him. And I'm excited to see if this Bengals team can do that and continue this stretch, continue this run to the postseason, which last I checked, they had about a 98% chance of making the playoffs, and they could certainly do much, much more than that over the next 4 weeks. We're going to have you covered all things Cincinnati Bengals all the time here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. So keep it locked right here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. Check out Bengals on the Brain with Joe Goodberry on Tuesday night, the OT with Elise Jesse on Thursday. And shout out to Elise. She did awesome stuff in the locker room. Check out all of our locker room interviews that I had or that Elise had with different players, from Jamar Chase to Joe Mixon to anyone and everyone in between, post-game of the Bengals-Browns game, in which the Bengals, well, they finally beat the Browns. It had been way too long. They got it done. We'll see if they can continue to beat teams that start with the letter B this week against the Buccaneers. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. And for Andrew Fox Miller, who is going to get so mad at the length of this video, I just cracked myself up. I'm James Rapien signing off for now right here on CBT, Cincinnati Bengals Talk.